I've come to learn that people who overshare on social media, especially photos, like, look at how great we are. They are really trying hard.
Yeah, maybe.
To prove how great they are.
Yeah, that could be.
For a reason.
Yeah.
And I'm not pointing, there's no one specifically.
No, I know.
But I have come to find that couples or men or women or whoever who are excessively posting about their life
On social media
tend to be like trying to prove to themselves, look how good we are. See, it's not it's not real.
Yeah, right. And I do, you know, and even if it was real, it just at some point it becomes obnoxious.
You know what? It is obnoxious. And the thing is I rarely post my face or Daryl and I together on social media.
Yeah.
It's no one's fucking business.
Yeah, right.
What I'm doing.
Well,
I don't feel like I'm required to tell you or show you what we're doing.
See, to me, it's not about whether or not it's your business. To me, it's about why am I so important that you should know what I'm doing? People just don't care.
I like taking pictures, and if they turned out really good, I'll post it.
Same.
Like Daryl and I went to Napa a couple weeks ago.
Those were pretty. Yeah.
We went, and there was an art installation, and they're all outside, and you have to walk everywhere. It was like 30 degrees.
I know, huh?
But the installations are so cool.
Yeah,
and so I took pictures of them. I'm like, everybody should see these.
It was artistic. Those were artistic photos.
Exactly. That's the kind of shit I like doing. I mean, I'm just, you know. And
I know that when I think it's because I so rarely post pictures of my actual self.
Right.
Or my kid,
the only
or
time is
my
when
husband.
You have to update your photo. So
Well, I mean, I do, but every once in a while, if we just had a really good time somewhere and there's a couple cute pics, I'll post them. And when I do, everyone's like. Right. Because I don't do it hardly ever. And they're like, oh my God, there she is. She actually posted a picture of herself. I'm like, I'm actually not 600 pounds and horrible. And that's why I don't put pictures of myself on there.
Remember the good old days when people would take pictures of their breakfast, lunch, and dinner? I look at my very first photos on social media. I'm like, wow, I was really annoying.
Oh God.
Because I didn't know it was a new concept. You know, I'm like, how many pictures of wine and coffee did I have to show?
Oh my God.
Like so many. I remember vividly being unfriended by people because I was playing that Farmville.
Oh, Jamie.
And there was no way to like not.
Yeah. Well, Facebook has fixed all of that. Thank God.
Yeah. But now I'm just like, they're never going to friend me again.
I know.
Ever.
I know.
Whatever. I don't give a shit.
Honestly. I've been hovering around the same 370-ish people for a while now.
Oh yeah.
I haven't really added any new friends, and I haven't really deleted any in a while.
Yeah. Well, Daryl and I had a very serious discussion about trends.
Oh.
And how I think.
Are we recording?
Yes, but let me start the show.
Yeah.
Hold on. Sorry.
That was our awkward moment.
Oops.
Because we're really getting deep into the combo.
This is not pre-show banter. Okay. Clap along, everyone.
Hey. Oh.
I love that intro music. Welcome to the Ugly Truth. This is Jamie with my sister Stephanie.
Estefania, also known as
Stefania. Really quick.
No, Estefania.
Estefania.
All my Latin friends.
Perdone.
They put the E in front of it. Why? Oh no! I just remembered. I'm like, why are we listening to this? I totally forgot. Okay, that's quite enough.
Happy birthday. I know, it's your birthday. Hey, the world is celebrating by having the Super Bowl on your birthday.
I know. That is the silver lining.
That's a wonderful afternoon for
Honestly,
you.
it couldn't. There could not be a better gift.
It's the best gift of all.
Jamie knows this, and everybody who knows me knows this. Super Bowl is legit my favorite day of the year.
Know.
I don't care who's playing. It could be the Browns.
It doesn't matter.
And the Bills or somebody, and I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
I just love it.
You love the whole build-up.
I love the whole day.
Everything.
Yep.
In fact, I'm not as into it as you are, which is fine.
I don't know why I am.
Well, first of all, I like making all the food. I love having food to graze from morning to end.
Yeah.
I do get a little sad when everything's over.
I do too. It's so sad that the season's over.
But the upstairs television always has the Puppy Bowl on.
Oh,
and
right.
Downstairs is the big game.
So I'll put the Puppy Bowl on in my room.
Yeah.
But the Super Bowl will be on in multiple rooms.
Exactly. So if you need a break, you can go in and watch puppies.
Well, if you have to run out to the garage to put the laundry in, it's on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do love football.
It's
we
fun.
love all of the things.
Yeah. Love
you know what? I don't hate anything that's competitive. I'll watch competitive aquatics.
Archery?
I will watch. I have watched it. That's why I like the Olympics, because I can watch anything.
There's only one.
I suddenly become a professional a know-it-all when it comes to like ice skating or speed skating. Suddenly I know everything there. Oh, well, he took that turn too narrow. That's the end of it for him.
What's that one
like,
where
I don't know shit, but it's like suddenly I become a professional everything.
Same.
I can commentate.
What's that one where they are on ice and they push the puck and not hockey, and they scrub the ice to make it go in a certain direction?
The Canadian thing.
And they try to make it go as far as they can, but not too far.
I don't know why I can't think of it. Shuffleball? No.
Something like that.
Something like that.
But Jerry and I will even watch that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what are we? And we get into it.
And I'm like, I'm rooting for the Canadians. Whatever. And they grunt. They get really into it. They're like,
I know, huh?
I'm like, what is that going to do? Whatever. It's fine. It's their thing. Yeah. It's their sport.
Winter or summer Olympics, I don't care. I love them both.
And the Super Bowl is the pinnacle of the football season.
It is.
And only 2 fan bases get to really get into it.
Yeah.
We talked about comedians last time, but speaking of comedians, Bill Burr goes, if you're a true fan and you're watching the Super Bowl, you are not at a party. You're at home.
Oh, agreed.
100% agree.
I couldn't even go. Yeah, no.
Now, the only thing I will say is this. If for some reason the gods of football and the NFL allow the Raiders to ever go into the Super Bowl again, we're going to have to
have a party.
Yes, because there are far too many family members on all sides that would have to participate.
Honestly.
Because if they won,
the joy.
I might even cry.
I would too. I probably would. I totally would.
And I think the reason I would cry, frankly, is because Daryl's dad, Pops, isn't here to see it.
Oh, God.
And we'd be like, Pops, this was for you. I mean, you know how people get when their team wins? I would, and I'm all in on it. I'm like, honestly, I'm not ashamed.
I think the Raiders, if the Raiders ever went to the Super Bowl, even if you're not a Raiders fan, everybody would be into that game.
Oh, for sure. They'd be like, well,
they've been the ones that are on the verge of either being good or they really suck for so long that everybody would be like, my God, finally. Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, when was the last time they went to the Super Bowl? Probably 25 years ago.
It was 2010.
Was it 2010?
I believe so.
They played in the Super Bowl.
Yes. It was in LA. It was I don't remember who they got spanked. It was Gruden. Anyway, maybe it was 2008, but it was in the 2000s. But it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But 2008 was 15. I don't do math.
18,
12
19,
years. I don't even
17.
know. Why? Okay, there you go.
17 years ago.
Yeah. So that's about right.
Yeah, you're right. To me, it just seems too new to be real. I'm like,
please, when people say 20 years,
like yesterday.
When people say 20 years ago, I think 1970.
Right?
It's not. It's not, Lois.
I know.
It's not.
I know.
Anyway, yes, it is your birthday. And so that is something we're going to address today, but not in the way that you expect. I'm not going to fawn all over you. I'm not into it. And I'm not into it.
I'm so not into it.
No.
My friends are like, why don't you like your birthday? I'm like, why do you think? Do you enjoy getting old?
Every time, and
is that fun?
You know this about me when it's and you're not like this, but when my birthday comes around, I go through a depression. Yes. For like 2 weeks. And I reflect upon my life.
Her death.
Yeah. And you know what? I saw something the other day about the rules for my funeral. And it was funny.
I did too. See, I'm telling you.
I think it's funny.
Was it the African-American girl?
Yes. No, it was a guy.
Oh, sure it was a guy? Because she kind of looked like a guy. But
it was a guy.
Okay.
For sure a guy. But once something picks up, everybody takes the trend, right?
Yeah,
but his rules for his funeral were hilarious. And I'm like, you know what? I should put rules down for my funeral. I'm going to have to think about this.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
They were funny, the ones that I saw.
I want security so that anybody who thinks they're going to pay their respects that did me wrong are promptly beaten and taken out of the house.
Yeah.
No one's coming that I don't like.
Okay, so, by the way, the Super Bowl, the Raiders went to the Super Bowl in 2002. So it's been 21 years.
Okay, I was off by a few years.
Yeah. But I was like, 2010? Really?
I know. I don't know.
I was like, that was 12 years ago.
2002. Well, I knew it was an even numbered year. I just couldn't remember.
But that's okay.
But it was a shit show when they went. They got annihilated in that game, by the way.
They've been in 5 Super Bowls, 67, 76, 80, 83, and 2002.
They used to be really good.
Yeah.
And then, especially when we had Coach Madden. But anyway.
Oh, I know.
So yes, the Super Bowl is today. So you're probably listening to this on Monday when you're hungover or exhausted from being up too long.
And you know what's great is Monday's a holiday. Tomorrow.
So much bacon and sour cream or whatever you're eating. Yeah, so you'll be able
chili
to
cheese chips.
Listen to this while you're drinking your coffee going, I'm never going to eat like this again.
baby wieners and sauce.
Like all the
meatballs,
things. Some, nachos, snachos, all the things.
A tri-tip.
Yes, it's going to be wonderful. But it is your birthday. And so there was a couple of things that I wanted to mention about people who are born on your day.
Oh, okay.
Yes, of course, we know President's Day.
Yeah.
Traditionally. So you almost always have your birthday off.
I do.
Nice.
It is for me because I hate my birthday so bad.
So you can just stay away.
I'm never at work.
No one's decorating your office.
Nope.
No one's.
They did it to me once.
Oh,
and the funny thing is I called in sick that day. And all my friends were texting me like, I thought you were supposed to be here, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I was going to, but what? And they were like, so eventually I came to work. I ended up coming to work late.
Yeah.
Because there was a little party planned for me.
Oh, shit.
And I felt terrible. I was like, fine. Look, people don't understand. You do, but my friends don't get it when I say I hate my birthday. Like, I don't want to be celebrated. I don't want it to be regular. I'm like, I mean it.
I don't like being the center of attention.
It's not even that. I hate recognizing my birthday. I don't want to I liked it when I was 21. That's probably the only year that I was celebrated.
Yeah, I did too. In fact, I had Rosarita margaritas at El Torito with my work friends from Roundtable. I miss El Torito too. They had good margaritas and good food.
It was just, I liked their atmosphere.
They had a good bar, believe it or not.
Did, yeah.
And
what is better than large quantities of tequila and Mexican food?
Nothing.
Oh my God,
it's amazing.
Best.
I love it. Anyway, yeah, and I did definitely throw up that night, but I mean, I didn't know what I was doing.
I ended up going out to a local bar around here with a bunch of people that I went to high school with that I actually hate. I don't know what I was thinking.
We're 21. You're young.
And actually the one person that I really dislike a lot, but I pretend I don't, that person ended up puking, and it brought me great joy.
I love that.
I was like, good. I hope you feel like
that for
shit.
you.
Besides, you're embarrassing. She was sloppy.
Oh, I hate sloppy drunks.
Yeah.
The worst.
She was throwing up in the parking lot of the bar. I mean, it was awful.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You know what? I did that once. I went to, it was Bobby McGee's. Do you remember Bobby McGee's?
Oh, God. How could I forget?
That was part of the, they called it the herpes triangle in Citrus Heights.
Ew.
Because it was Black Angus, Denim and Diamonds, Bobby McGee's, right. Baxter's also was a place.
Oh my God.
And it was like a triangle.
Yeah. All great places to party though.
Back in the 90s.
In those days, yeah.
Yes. And we were mostly underage, but when I finally was old enough, I think I wasn't even 21, but the bouncers at Bobby McGee's gave zero fucks. So they would let 19 and 20-year-olds in all the time. They just wanted girls and people because it was in the middle of the fucking suburbs.
Yeah, but there was nowhere else to go and hang out.
Exactly.
So
unless you wanted to go downtown.
Yeah,
but no one would because it was like,
well, because when you're raised in Orangevale, Citrus Heights, Fair Oaks, that whole area, you're really just suburban yuppie little jerks. Well, you're not well-rounded. You don't.
It's just when you're underage, the places you want to go, because we have a college town, because there's a college town area, you are not getting in. It's like fortresses because they're like, we are not losing our license because a bunch of college kids trying to get in here. So you go home and you go up to the suburbs and those places.
And nobody gives a shit.
No.
Because they want you there.
So they let us in. And I remember that I was with a bunch of people that I went to high school with.
Of course.
Boys and girls. Of course. And we were doing like purple Hooter shots. And I remember that evening going, you know what? I'm done with this. I don't need to be friends with these people like daily, like partying like this.
Continue my high school years into my 20s.
I wasn't a fan. And I'm like, I think I'm done with this. So one of the guys that was there, he's like, I'll walk you to your car. I'm like, okay. So he walked me to my car and I remember he kissed me. Ugh. And it was like the driest, sandiest kiss of all time.
And you're like, why am I even participating in this?
And I'm like, I'm going home and I can't wait to get out of here. And it was then when I realized, I'm like, these people were great in high school.
Sure.
And they're nice people. Even today, they're nice.
Of course, yeah.
But this was not.
If you're listening, we're not saying that you're.
No.
Yeah.
But at 20, I'm like, this is not my path.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. I'm not going to continue. I mean, I know there are people all over the world who stay friends with people from their high school and even younger. I mean,
but that's just because they met a person that's like them in life.
Well, I mean, just
because of high school.
My kids are friends with all their friends from high school still. Like
I'm not friends with all of them.
Not all, but I mean I feel like
friends are when still from high school. Your friends in high school are your friends because you're all trapped in this institution together every single day, all day, and you don't have a choice about it.
I just think I think I'm different because I see a lot of people who are still very excited and happy to have these long friendships of 40, 50 years.
I'm all about long friendships, but I can't stand people who celebrate their high school or college years when they're in their 60s. It's like, get over it. That was your finest time. And
I'm not jealous, but what it makes me realize was how much I hated where we were living and what our life was at the time.
There's no happy memories for me.
Because like, here's an example, and I didn't tell you about this last week, and I was going to tell you about it. And then we're getting into my list. So Tyler has a cat, and the cat is 7, almost 8 years old. He was acting sick, and Tyler is going to be he's going to be the best father ever one day when he has actual children.
Right.
But he was terrified that something was wrong with his cat. So he found a vet who was willing to take him the next morning. So because he has work and stuff, I'm like, I will take him. So he brought the cat over. I took him to this vet. And I immediately sat down and realized this place is they upsell everything.
Oh, yeah.
And I know a lot of places are like this.
Yep. But you have to be really assertive when you go to a place like that if you have no choice.
Right. And so
say no.
Literally every single person.
No, you're not giving him a no sailing wash for $75. Right.
So every single person coming in goes, I didn't expect it to be this expensive. Every single person.
Jeez.
And and they're like, if it was up to me, it wouldn't cost this much. That's what they all said. And they said it over and over again. And I'm sitting here going, okay, I already know where I'm at. I'll keep this in mind. So we go in, they check them out. And I was completely prepared for the basics. We're going to have to run blood tests, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I'm fine with that. It's like, we got to figure out if there's something wrong with the cat.
They need a baseline.
There's something wrong with the cat. He hasn't had blood work in a couple of years. So let's do it. So they're like, okay, we'll do that. Well, they were struggling to get the blood, and it was taking like 30 or 40 minutes. And he also is like, well, we should do x-rays and all this stuff. And I said, I'm not doing any of that. I go, this animal's not dying. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he definitely doesn't have something whatever you're saying.
Yeah.
And he was using a lot of scare tactics. Like, well, we heard a heart murmur and blah, blah, blah.
God.
And I'm like, just do the blood work. So I come up and it was $400 ultimately. And so I said,
that is ridiculous.
I go, it's been 400. It's been 40 minutes and you guys haven't given me any indication. I go, did you hurt the cat? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Because I'm out here waiting and nothing.
Right.
And I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, if I have to call my son and tell him that this cat had some kind of issue.
Because these people are idiots.
Because they were idiots. I don't even know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And so she goes, no. And I go, let me just be really clear. I'm not paying for anything if you can't do this. And I go, and you have about 5 minutes to put that cat in his carrier and bring him out before I go back there.
Yeah. What were they trying to do?
I think ultimately they were trying to get a urine sample, which they didn't tell me about.
Well,
And so she's like, oh, no. I would never make you pay for that. I'm like, oh, really? Well, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
And she suddenly, like a miracle out of the sky, the blood work had been taken and he was being brought out. So I paid.
I would have been pissed.
She goes, Lucas has been paid for. You can bring him out. And I'm like, they don't bring the animal out until you pay your bill?
What were they going to do if you didn't?
I don't know.
Keep him?
But and I was like, this is not cool. I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but this is not cool. Yeah. So I called my vet and I said, I need you to see this cat.
That would have made me so angry to pay them all that money.
I did too. And so I told them what had happened at the vet, at the other one. And they're like, oh my God, yes, we have a cancellation. Bring him right in. And so we brought him in and she's like, well, I looked at all of his blood work because the vet called me the next day.
The bad one?
The bad vet called me the next morning and said, well, we got his blood work back. His muscle enzymes are really, really elevated. We're really concerned. It's probably heart disease. He could have a mass. We really need to do x-rays and it's going to be $600. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to have to think about it. And so I hung up and that's when I called my vet and I said, please tell me that you can get him in.
Because they're really busy, I know.
So they brought him, they said, we have a cancellation. Yes. So I brought him in. Now this cat has now been with me for 2 days off and on.
Right.
Back and forth. Tyler's a wreck. So I bring him in And I explained everything, and they're like, what hospital is this? So I gave them the name of the place, and they're like, okay. So they got the records, they got the test results and everything from the vet, shockingly. I didn't think, for sure, I thought they were going to say, oh, you have to pay for it. I almost expected it. And so they said, okay, couple things. He does not have a heart murmur. His muscle enzymes are high because cats do that when they're getting messed with.
Yeah, they're stressed.
They're like, I didn't even look at it because it's normal.
It's normal when they're in a vet. Yeah.
It's like, yes, he has a slightly elevated fever. There's nothing wrong with him. That we've palpitated everything. He's not presenting like he has heart disease. There's literally nothing wrong with this animal. He probably ate something.
And he doesn't feel good.
That's
what I was thinking too.
And so she goes, so I'm going to give you some kitty Advil, and I'm going to give you some pain relief. Anti-nausea. Actually, she also gave me something to stimulate his appetite because he wasn't eating. And I said, okay, we'll do all of those things. So it was $100.
Oh my God. Were you just so pissed off at that?
I couldn't even.
I would call my bank and be like, take that money back.
I know.
I am filing a claim.
She's like, but there's always a chance that we're wrong, but we start conservatively and we work for it.
But if you don't see anything automatically, and the blood work tells you everything. If something's wrong, whether it's serious or non-serious, something's going to be elevated.
So then the old vet, the bad vet, had the audacity to call me and say, oh, we're just checking on little Lucas. We're really concerned. We're really concerned about his health, and you haven't gotten back to us and all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm blocking you.
Right.
Like, I'm not. And you're lucky I'm not letting everyone know
how bad you
are about only wanting to get people's money.
God, I've been to vets like that before.
And let me tell you,
infuriating.
Most of them were elderly. Shocking.
Yeah, they'll just pay whatever because that's their beloved family member.
Well, this one old woman came in, and she was in her 80s, and she came in and her dog was there, and they're like, well, we need to do a fecal sample. It's really important, because you got to check for things. And
how do you live with yourself?
I don't know how they live with themselves, to be fair.
I mean, honestly, it's like I my husband's self-employed, so I do understand needing to profit off of your business.
Sure. Well, yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why contractors get such bad reputations is because they try to get people to do things that they don't need.
Right.
So that they can make more money. But Jerry's never been like that. So half the battle for him is overcoming past experiences.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And I feel like with the vet, it's the same thing.
It's the same.
If there weren't these shoddy, shady,
constantly trying to tell you every test has to be done.
And when you do go to a good vet, you're like, are you trying to rip me off? Or does my cat really need this?
God.
Like, it's just the worst because you love your animals.
Well, and some people feel like they're children. I truly do that.
I'm almost there myself. Not quite.
I'm not, but I do understand it. I get it. They bring so much comfort and so much peace to people that it is imperative for their day-to-day life. I get it.
Yeah.
So anyway, this woman, she walks in and her dog's name was Sunny, which I thought was hilarious. And she said, she goes, well, the fecal sample is really important. She goes, listen, she goes, well, how much? And they were going to charge her like $200 for a poop sample.
Unbelievable.
And she goes, listen, I'm really old and my dog is really old. I give no craps about his poop. So no, I'm not paying for that. And they're like, okay, well, you're happy to go to another vet, but they're going to tell you the same thing. I mean, pushing to the point where I'm sitting there going,
I'm going to say something.
In about 10 seconds, I'm getting up.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, knock it off.
Leave this woman alone.
And I'm also going to say, I just saw you charge some man who came in here for the same fecal sample $60.
Yeah.
So get the fuck off of this lady's back.
Right?
She's old and the dog is old. It's like, this is dumb. I mean, even like when we go to our vet and they're like, look, your dog's old. We're not going to put them through that.
Right.
Just freaking make sure they're happy and healthy and move on and let them live their old lives.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, I told Tyler, I said, Tyler, your cat is healthy.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to talk about this again. It's over. This vet, I understand why we went there. You were worried, and you went to the first vet.
Now you know why they had appointments available the next day.
They take like 10 at a time.
Well, I mean, people go. Those are the kind of vets that you go to once, and then you never go back,
and they know it.
For sure. Yeah. Which otherwise, if a good vet with a loyal clientele doesn't have openings in the morning.
In fact, when I called our vet to make an appointment, they said we aren't taking anybody new unless it's a referral, and we will decide if we can do it. Yeah. They're so full of people.
That's good.
And because no one's pets are dying.
What?
No one's pets are dying, and everybody adopted pets during the pandemic. So there's like no.
Everybody's young.
Yes. 2 years at most.
Same. Yeah. Know? I have a 2-year-old and a 4-month-old.
Exactly.
But not because of the pandemic, but partially.
Well, you never know. It could be because of the pandemic.
Except for I didn't get $2,000, $3,000 purebred dogs.
No,
I tried.
It doesn't matter.
You couldn't get one.
I know.
I tried because I thought it was because all the shelters were empty. Yep. I mean, you couldn't adopt a dog to save your life during the pandemic. So I was like, all right, fine. I'll be one of those people and I'll buy a really expensive dog. I couldn't get one.
Nope.
I could not get my hands on one.
Well, it takes time to make more.
Well, I mean, and they were spoken for.
Yeah, that's what
I had dogs. She's like, yeah, the dog's due in like 3 or 4 months,
but they're all paid
for. I have one left. If you want it, you can give me $1,500 down, and then $2,500 when you pick the dog up. And I'm like,
holy shit!
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, that's more than my child
for a golden doodle.
Forget it. Oh God, I hate those things. No offense to anybody who loves a golden doodle. I am not a fan. Okay, so Stephanie, I did not know this because because we don't really talk about our birthdays very much.
Yeah.
You're an Aquarius.
Oh, I knew that.
I know you knew that. Yeah. I didn't know that.
I don't know that it necessarily fits me, but it kind of does.
Well, it kind of does. And so I pulled...
They're water bearers.
You are a water bear. It says water bear.
I know what I am.
Right here on the paper. I know you do, but I didn't. So I was reading about it because I found what I felt like, shockingly, you may not feel it explains you, but I do.
No, they're emotional creatures.
It says freedom is extremely important to you. Mm-hmm. You're destined to bring the world new ways of doing and looking at things and must have the space to be able to manifest. Your sense of style is unique and sometimes flamboyant. I would agree with you. You can relate to almost all people in a detached way, and you're dedicated to bringing humanity a step closer to fair and just. True. Injustice pushes your buttons like nothing else, which is 100% accurate.
That absolutely is true.
In relationships, you do best with someone who understands your need for freedom. And I'm like, I would agree with that.
It took Jerry about 22 years of the 25 we've been together to understand that.
Yeah, and I'm a Taurus.
But now he does. Oh, bull?
I'm the bull, and I absolutely am stubborn.
Yes.
I am
strong.
In fact, whenever I do any of those tests, they always say, loyalty is very important to you. And I'm like, it's the only thing that's important to me.
That is true for you.
Loyalty, because that means I have trust with you. I have to trust.
Very difficult, yeah.
Yes.
For both of us.
Yes, and that has nothing to do with our horoscopes. It has to do with our childhood trauma.
Right.
But yes, if I trust somebody... I trust them with my life. I trust them with my children. I can probably
name on one hand how many people I actually trust.
And to lose my trust is easy.
Yeah.
But if you have my trust, I trust you with my life, my children, everything.
Yeah.
And then if you break it, you are done.
She's like, you're dead to me.
You are dead to me. Okay. So here's a list of things that have your birthday and that are also turning the big.
Don't even say it.
I'm not. Tori Spelling is your age.
On the same day?
Yes.
Oh, her birthday?
These are people that were born the exact day.
I can't tell you how much I hate Tori Spelling.
Well, I don't know what's wrong with her. There's something up with her.
You know what?
Craziness.
I don't hate her. That's a strong word.
We don't know her, so you can't hate her.
No,
but you can find her distasteful.
I just don't. You know what? I never liked how many children she had when she was poor. You know, they didn't have money, and I'm like, why do you keep having fucking kids?
Because she likes being pregnant.
I guess.
Yeah.
And two, her kids. Children are beautiful creatures. They're wonderful. They're innocent, but her kids are fucking ugly. All of them. Every goddamn one of them. And she names them these hideous names.
Oh my God.
They're like little Quakers walking around with no shoes and they've never had a haircut. And I'm like, what the fuck? They're obese and they're like 10.
They're chubby? She has children? I didn't know that. Heidi Klum is your age.
Oh, I love that.
I know.
I didn't know she was born on February 12th.
Same year and everything.
Yeah. So I'm assuming all of these people were same day, same year.
You were born when these people were born on the same day all over the world.
Lucky them.
Yes, exactly.
They were lucky that I shared that birthday with
them. And Tyra Banks. Ugh. I know, but still.
I know, it's pretty interesting.
Isn't it funny that you're all born on the same day?
Yeah, that is weird. Especially because Heidi Klum's a model, Tyra Banks is a model.
You missed your calling.
Tori Spelling should be a billionaire, but her mom's a B word.
Didn't her mom die?
Candy?
Isn't Candy dead?
No.
Oh, I thought she was.
Candy is not dead.
Sure, Tori's waiting.
Well, I'll bet you that mother's not going to leave that bitch a penny. She'll put it on charity just to spite her.
That's what I was thinking. She will sue. She'll sue and probably get a little smattering of things. Yeah, other things that turned, the other things that were out the year that you were born, The Way We Were. with Barbra Streisand and Robert
That's actually
Redford.
the second version of the movie, but yes.
Well, that version. The Barbra Streisand
version.
movie.
But for a lot of people, they think that's like the original movie.
Not.
And I'm like, it's actually not.
It's not, Lois. Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee came out in 19...
You were always a Bruce Lee fan. Me, no.
Oh, I love it.
I know you do.
American Graffiti came out.
I hate that movie with a white hot heat.
Is it because...
It's stupid. That's why.
That's hilarious.
Because it's fucking stupid.
And the number one song on the day you were born was Elton John, Crocodile Rock.
I hate that song.
I do too.
I like Elton John, but I don't like that song.
He's all right.
I mean, I like there's a few songs of his that I really enjoy, but that's not one of them.
I mean, there are some songs I like about him,
there's maybe two.
He does. I like Tiny Dancer.
I like that song too, but only because it was an Almost Famous.
I love that movie.
I do too.
So much.
So do I. I just fall more in love with Kate Hudson every single time I see her. Now, she was just on The Hot Ones.
I watched it.
I loved her on that.
She was good.
She was good. She was funny. She definitely is her mother's daughter.
For sure.
As she's gotten older, her richness is showing, you know?
You know what? I will say that I agree with you. I am a big fan of Kate Hudson, but I felt like she's really feeling herself lately.
She's very much, but I think that's
and I don't know why.
Because I think with women, as we mature, you get so much more confident in your own skin.
Yes.
And if you're already rich, famous, and beautiful, and then you add a little maturity in there,
she's like,
there is nothing that can fucking stop me.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's she's exuding a lot of confidence.
And I think I love that about women of her age. And I feel like that myself, you know, like as I've gotten older at this age, I don't think I've ever been more confident in my life.
That's wonderful.
I mean, I'm not without, what's the word?
Insecurity
or self-doubt. It happens.
Human. Well, you're human.
But at least it's not my 99% of the time I'm feeling insecure or not confident. Now it's kind of the opposite.
That's good.
I'm mostly confident and sometimes I get insecure.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I would agree with that. Yeah. I'm more at peace.
I mean, I'm not saying it's 99%. That's probably that's too strong. But
no, I mean, it's just better than, you know what? I will say this. You know, everybody always talks about, it's like, if you could go back, when you're older, if you could go back to an age, what age would you want to like stay at? Mm-hmm. Mine is like 35.
Me too.
Yeah.
35 is great. My boobs still looked really good at 35.
Yeah, I think my boobs look okay now.
Yours do, but mine do not. You and I have a different, I look like mother.
Do you have Ruth's boobs?
I don't know. Thank God I never saw them. But I am scarred from my childhood of seeing my mother's.
God. Well, you know what? That's because she breastfed.
She breastfed. She had 4.
We sucked the meat out of her. Like there wasn't much left.
I'm telling you.
Just like, this is what motherhood looks like.
It does too.
I'm like, God, you're so
right. I'm really grateful that, that's one of the benefits of being in a long-term relationship or a marriage. I don't know. I think the changes is rather subtle. It's not jarring to them to suddenly one day look at your chest and be like, wow, what the hell happened?
Yeah. I mean, it
happens slowly over time.
First of all, here's what I think. I don't think that matters. I think that men, specifically heterosexual men, they see a naked woman and they are happy.
I don't know that that's true. I hear women say that all the time and I'm like, I don't know if that's true.
I think it's true.
Well, how about this? What if Daryl were to get hit by a truck tomorrow? Mm-hmm. Give yourself enough time to grieve, appropriate time to grieve, to where you don't like really, you're dating a month later. Right. Did you love him?
Like an appropriate time.
Appropriate time to grieve. And the first time you have sex with a man that's the same age as you. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now that is important because men of our age or anybody who's the same age as you always look at women who are younger. From a sexual standpoint. I don't think they're going around looking at 50-year-old women and going, she's fucking hot. Occasionally, do they think somebody's attractive that might be in that age range? Yes, but if they're having some kind of sexual fulfillment in their mind, they're not looking at 50-year-old women. They're looking at 20-year-old women.
Unless they're looking at, grandma porn, but you're right.
I mean,
you're right. Yes. Okay.
So if you and another guy the same age as you...
Actually, that's funny because if you were to ask a man, you're like, what do you think about this lady? He goes, oh, she's really attractive. I'm like, she's 26, Jim.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit, she's 26.
They don't think about that.
God. Well, she's because yeah, but like I've asked Daryl that. I've said, you're going to date some younger woman. He goes, I have daughters that age. I can't.
So
it bothers him.
Well,
it truly bothers him.
Maybe daughter's age, yes, but add 10 years.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with a man dating a 45-year-old woman.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I mean, not when you're 50.
Well,
that's 5 years.
Well, I'm just going to assume that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with a 50-year-old man dating a 35-year-old woman.
Okay, so you're saying that a man my age would not want to see me naked.
I don't say he wouldn't want to see you naked, but I think he would have to hide his shock the first time you had sex. Just to be polite and make sure that the deal went through.
I don't think so.
Not you. I mean,
no, I know what you're saying.
Because you have a different body than me, but I'm saying me.
I don't agree. I'm going to politely disagree with you. I think that men...
I hope you're right.
I think men in general are pleased as punch to be with a naked lady.
I don't know.
I do. I really do. I think that it's...
Well, we're going to test that theory eventually because I will be single first before anybody else.
Do you ever think about if you and I are widowed, would we like live together? Have you ever thought of that?
I would do it.
I just always wondered, like I've never had those relationships with girlfriends where like, when we're old and our husbands die, we'll just live together and be like the Golden Girls.
I mean, I can see me and you doing it if we were in the right age bracket. It depends. Like if we were both... But we're not old yet.
No, we're not. I'm just saying, like, so if we're in our old age.
But if we were old and our husbands were both dead.
I would kind of rather simply, even if we lived in a senior community together, because I would want a friend.
I mean, I wouldn't mind.
And I'd want an advocate. That's the other thing.
Both. And I mean, God, when you're to that age and you're not working anymore, I mean, like, it would be fun to like have someone to go do stuff with.
And someone that you could trust that's not going to try to take all your fucking money.
Yeah.
And a man.
But I mean, we could look for men and like do whatever.
Oh my God. So the other day.
We go on lots of, well, no, we couldn't go on a cruise because it'd be you, but.
I would do it for you if you really wanted to.
Well, that's where old people go to meet people.
Come on.
They do.
No. You know what? If cruise,
because it's all inclusive. Your food, your entertainment. You really don't have to worry about getting hurt or breaking a hip.
Cruise or casino.
Cruise, because you can get cruise and casino in the same place. All cruise ships have casinos.
You'd be like, God damn it, Jamie! You went on this cruise with me. We were going to meet some dudes, and you're just sitting on the pool, sourpuss face,
drinking.
Because you hate everything.
You've had 6 margaritas today, and it's 8:30.
It's like, come on, you need some food. You're going to die.
Well, we've been up since 3 a.m. drinking coffee. I'm ready for my nap.
I'm just glad we're not smoking.
Right?
Yeah, but
well, I'd be smoking weed.
I would smoke weed with you.
You do your little CBD oil.
No, I don't do those anymore. They don't work. I need actual edibles or weed.
They don't work? I thought you were so
for a minute I was, and then I
was actually thinking about, I'm glad I didn't because it's very expensive.
That's the thing, and it tastes terrible.
Oh, does it?
Oh my God, I feel like I'm drinking the bottom of bong water.
I know, huh? I know, it is awful.
Gross.
I hate the smell.
It's awful. And so I'm like, it's not working enough for me to go through the discomfort of what I'm doing.
The taste, the cost, all of it. Yeah.
God. No, I posted a meme the other day and it said that Gen X senior communities, we should just convert old malls into our senior community centers. We'll all live on the 3rd floor.
Right.
We'll have awesome condos or apartments upstairs. And then the next 2 floors where the malls.
All the fun stuff.
Will be all the fun stuff. There will be bars. There will be some
restaurants.
It said roller rink. I'm like, nah. That's
Who wants to roller skate when you're ancient?
First of all, when roller rinks were all the thing, I was a baby. I was not a kid like going, hey, let's all go roller skating.
We all looked like Giselles or like giraffes out there falling all over the place like we just got born. We're like,
that was not my generation. My generation was arcades, movies. We
did do roller skating, Jamie. I remember being there.
We were in grade school.
Yeah, in grade school.
Yeah, but that's not something that I'm nostalgic about.
No. Yeah, probably
when
not.
I was in high school, it was about the arcades, Scandia, golf, mini golf. All that cool
older,
stuff.
yes.
Batting cages, like that's what the shit we did.
That's true.
Can we find a place to TP others? Like that's the kind of shit I was doing.
Yeah, true.
But I mean, we could totally, we could have like Above the Belt and Benetton and
Jamie.
the Wet Seal.
Yes, Wet Seal. God, I love that store.
God, because nobody buys clothes like that anymore.
Nobody buys clothes in stores anyway.
No,
and we all order them.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, everybody talks about having Orange Julius. I hated Orange Julius.
I never liked Orange Julius.
I hated it.
It's like drinking a liquid creamsicle.
Disgusting.
They're gross. Who likes
I didn't like them.
You know what? These are the reasons why my husband and I have fights because he liked Orange Julius.
Why?
I'm like, who are you?
It's a giant cup of pulp.
Jamie, millions of people like it.
It's so
gross.
For
me, I'm like, I'm the weird one, actually. We're the weird ones.
I believe if I am, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Orange Julius was invented here in Sacramento.
I'm pretty sure you're correct about that.
And so everybody's like, oh my God,
at least Northern California.
I'm like, I literally feel like I'm drinking full pulp orange juice. I've had a sip and I'm like,
with sweet cream in it.
I don't know what this is, but it's disgusting.
Not my thing.
And I'm, congratulations to the Orange Julius people for making it an iconic thing for Gen X. I don't want it. I'm not
so passionate about this.
We are very strongly.
We hate you, Orange Julius, and all of you people who drink it are dumb and ugly.
But I want a candy store because I want tangy taffy and now and later.
Yeah. I miss the Sweet Factory. Remember that place?
I do remember the Sweet Factory. Oh my God.
Yeah, bins and bins of endless candy. Yeah, all kinds. Hard candy, soft candy.
Remember the grandma candy that had like the little strawberry hard candies?
Like and then Brock's, whatever.
Maybe it was Brock's, but my favorite one. Well, I did love the strawberry ones. Those were really, really good. But also, do you remember the root beer? Root beer flavored.
Yes, that is Brock's.
So freaking good.
However you say it.
And they were shaped like little barrels.
They were little barrels. They were so good.
Those were so delicious.
That was great candy. Loved it.
Speaking of candy, so Valentine's Day is coming. Our favorite holiday of all time.
Right around the time of my birthday. Love it.
Here's the thing. I've mentioned this, and I'll mention it every year, just so everyone knows. Yeah. I think Valentine's Day is really fun if you're in grade school or even in middle school.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's a social construct. First of all, it teaches you how to include everybody.
True.
And it also teaches you how to operate with love in a way.
And at that age,
it's so awkward.
It's so awkward, and either you like girls and you're already everybody knows you like girls, or you like girls but you don't want to tell anyone you like girls,
right?
Or boys, either way.
Anyway,
and so Valentine's Day is kind of like the permissible time to give something sweet to somebody you might actually like, but you could never say it to them.
You can be anonymous,
and it can just be under the guise of, well, everybody's getting a Valentine,
exactly.
Even though I really like you,
and you can give it to the person that you really like, and maybe put an extra XO on
something. Yes, something. Very subtle, but you can hide behind it.
Exactly. And I just love it for that. I think it's really cute. And, I don't know if they do it anymore, but everybody used to make a little box and you'd have it on your desk. And
I hope they still do that. Or an envelope with like construction paper, and you'd paste hearts that you cut out on it.
Or sometimes they use lunch bags and you put it on and you tape it on the side.
I hope they still do that.
That's where Valentine's Day should stay. In with children. Now I do get, I have been forced to celebrate Valentine's Day my whole adult life because every guy I'm with is whatever. And I think one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of it is, especially in my 20s, they just did it so poorly.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So badly. It's like you shouldn't have done it at all.
Have you ever gotten a liquor store rose made out of bikini underwear?
In fact, I have.
Oh, so have I.
Actually,
I was the only one blessed with that.
It was a gas station run.
Well, same. Whatever. They're equally as tacky. I'm just saying, we all know those, right? We've all seen them. Yeah. They're next to the cigars and the blunts.
Yep. And I'm like, I'm so glad you thought so hard about this before you came over to take me to whatever place
I just don't understand why
Don't even do it.
Yeah. Like, what was going through your brain when you were standing there buying your cigarettes and you're getting your Bic lighter?
Just don't do it. It's like it's almost offensive.
It is offensive.
Like, did you want
it's
me
not
to?
Almost offensive.
I'm sorry. Am I slipping these on? Like, what do you think's going to happen? They're going in the garbage. In fact, I remember it was like a week later.
They have dust on them.
I got in the car and I'm like, and they're still crumpled. The rose is on the floorboard of the car, and I'm like, yeah, this is where this belongs. By the way,
I would have. Yeah,
I've had the 6-pack, the little baby 6-pack of CVS chocolates.
Oh God,
I've had
Whitman's.
Yes, I've had the Whitman's, but the mini pack though, not the
not even
size.
The full.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I've had it all. I've had
my
hideous stuffed animals.
My ex-husband was famous for drugstore heart-shaped candy.
I just don't understand. Yeah. And it's like, do you not know me at all? Do you think this is what I want?
I know, huh?
This is so... You're phoning it in to such a degree that I could be anybody and you would do this. And that's why I hate days where you're required to say, here, Valentine, because if you really loved me, you would do anything else any other time.
Right.
You wouldn't wait until the 14th like a fool.
Not only that, but I mean,
I hate it. I hate Valentine's Day so much.
Even the best men, even the men with the purest hearts and the best intentions who truly love their spouse or their partner, are challenged in this area.
Yeah.
It's hard for them to think creatively about what really matters or what would be really well thought out of to give to their partner.
I would agree with that.
Now, there's some men I have heard, I've never witnessed one.
I've never met one.
That are really good at it, but I've not yet had that experience.
You know when you have a great experience? When you've basically handed it to them. And say, this is what I would like. But it's not. But you're right.
Then
but
I might as well just buy it my fucking self.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so that's one of the reasons why people are like, wow, you've never gotten this for Christmas or Valentine's. I'm like, no, and I don't care.
Right.
Because if I have to tell you what it is that you have to give me so that I'll enjoy the gift.
You've lost the whole point of it.
It's complete. And if you can't think outside of your teensy little brain after 25 years of being with me, nothing comes to mind. I'm not even one of those girls that would be offended by a piece of cookware. Like if it's something that I really wanted, I'd be happy. Some girls, that's so unromantic. Like that's so, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I wanted that cast iron pan. And do you know that thing was $150? And I wanted it.
I was going to say, it is romantic actually. Because that means he heard, he listened, he filed that thought away.
Even if he didn't heard, he was just thinking like, I know how much she loves to cook. Yeah. She does all these things. She doesn't have one of these.
And not only that, but I mean, you probably wouldn't give a shit if he gave it to you on your birthday or on a Tuesday.
I wouldn't.
Exactly.
I would not care.
And that's how I am as well. Yeah. I am very, very clear about how I feel about Valentine's Day. Unfortunately for me, I am married to somebody who celebrates
married to Cupid.
He wants to celebrate everything all the time. Everything.
It's cute though.
To the point where like this last holiday season, he's like, well, it's tradition. It's tradition. It's tradition. And I said, you know what? You're making this super unfun.
Yeah.
Because it's tradition because we did it once and it was like, this is amazing. We should do this every year.
Right.
And then we did it this year and it felt very plug and play. It did not feel like, and I said, you know what? I don't like this tradition anymore because it feels unfun to me.
Well, it just feels
feels like a burden.
It's
now.
Forced.
Yeah. It's exactly.
You know what? And that's forced. The funny thing about my partner too. My husband will often reminisce about things we did 20 years ago that were so much fun.
Yeah.
When we experienced it at that time, it was like, it's memorable to us. We'll never forget it. But he wants to keep reliving it over and over again. Yes. And I'm like, that was fun then. I wouldn't find that fun now.
I think that's not men specific, but I would think majority men want to go, it was fun. It worked then. So it will always work. So let's do it over and over. And I don't think that's I think that's a very common thing.
I do too.
For example, interestingly, I was reading an article about this guy. He's a psychiatrist. And he said, when I was 12, I recognized that my dad would always come home every Saturday from the farmer's market and bring my mom flowers. And I thought, oh, this is romance. This is how you keep it alive. This is what you do. He's like, and then one Saturday, I don't even know, a month or so later, my dad brought home the flowers and she goes, enough with the flowers. And he goes, and then I didn't know what to make of that.
I do.
Of course immediately. Me too. And he goes, but what I realized was when just like what we were talking about.
Yeah.
It worked the first couple of times. So I'll continue doing it and it works. Now, of course, now it's a chore. Now it's not special.
Right.
Now it's just a part of the daily Saturday routine.
Every Saturday. Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything anymore.
Right.
Now it's just a thing I'm doing.
That's why it's like a pellet. You have to think of another thing. You have to have a backup, not just the same trick.
Your first thought was great, but you can only probably do that maybe one or two more times. And then you've got to move on.
Yeah.
You know,
though there is one tradition that I would never get sick of, although it would never happen to me because I'm not that lucky. What? But I would love to get a new piece of some fantastic jewelry every fucking Valentine's Day.
That'd be nice.
And I would never care if you did it every year.
Yeah.
As long as it's not the same thing that you got me last year. I'd be like,
well, you like
love
this.
it. Because I can never have enough.
Of course.
I don't care if it's big. I don't care if it's little. I don't care if it's a small thing, a big thing. I love jewelry of all.
I know.
And by the way, men, all women love jewelry.
For the most part.
There's only a few women who aren't terribly tickled by jewelry, and you could probably even find something that they would love.
Oh yeah, for sure. Everybody likes a little trinket, for sure, of some kind.
I don't really know any women who don't, honestly.
I know.
Have you ever given one a diamond and she's like, yeah, I'm not really into diamonds, but okay.
No, but I have seen someone being given a diamond and them going, well, can we take it back and can I pick something else out differently?
Oh, I mean, maybe the style or the shapes.
Times.
Yeah.
But yes.
Like Carrie when she was going to get the gold banded.
It's a pear shape with a gold band.
A pear. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We've all been there.
I had a pear shaped diamond for a minute.
Well, I mean, we grow and change.
I thank God.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Speaking of, Alyssa Milano decided to chime in on Britney Spears. I'm like, you
They're
need
all
to shut
chiming in.
up.
I know.
Oh my God.
Everybody has something to say about Britney.
This poor woman is just trying to relive her life.
Whatever
leave
it is.
I mean, God, I hate to say that. Leave Britney alone. But it's like,
so true though.
God, leave the woman alone. She's got a lifetime to figure out. She's been held hostage by her family since she was 16 years old. She's 40.
Yeah, I know. God.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
Her own children don't know the truth and treat her like
garbage.
Well,
and what gets me about that is that Britney's the only thing that's really changed for her since the conservatorship ended is her ability to negotiate her own social media.
Yeah.
She hasn't performed.
No.
She hasn't gone on any shows.
Nope.
She's not doing anything in the public eye.
She doesn't want to.
She's just being attacked for living. Like going to the grocery store, to the gym, like whatever.
Well, not only that, but it's like she turned off her social media. She didn't delete it. She just shut it off.
Yeah.
And now people are like, oh, well, we need to find out what's going on with her.
Crazy.
Something's wrong.
Yeah.
We need a welfare. There are people who literally called the police.
I know.
And they had to do a welfare check. And Alyssa Milano was like, somebody check on Britney. And I'm like, what is going on?
And what right do you have, Alyssa Milano, you dumb bitch? Stay out of it.
No, kidding.
She just wanted to get on the gravy train that is Britney so they had something to say about her in the media.
She does that for everything.
I'm like, go do a Hallmark movie. Shut up.
Yeah, will they even have you?
No.
Like, she's so annoying.
She's ridiculously annoying.
I heard some of this shit that came out of her mouth, and I'm like, lady, I don't know what happened to you, but let's pray and hope that Tony Danza wants to do a reboot of Who's the Boss, because that's the only thing that anybody will ever see from you.
Agreed.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's it.
Her and Scott Baio, yeah.
Oh, my God.
He does the same thing.
They all do, though. It's not...
Well, it's like, I agree. So essentially, I'm just over celebrities who feel that their opinion is more important than anyone else's opinion because they're a celebrity. I'm like, dude, you're an idiot.
I was listening to something. They're like, dude, actors and actresses or actors in general, crazy.
They're crazy.
It's a
they're
next
narcissists.
kind of crazy. And I'm like, well...
They're the most self-centered people.
You kind of want to hope that the ones you really admire and like aren't.
Yeah, no, there's some.
Because... They don't seem to subscribe to the narrative that a lot of people do. They don't live there. They have normal lives, they live in random places in the world, or whatever. And you kind of
places they can disappear when they're not filming a movie.
And you kind of hope, or they can raise children and they're not being, whatever. And
bombarded by the paparazzi.
You really hope that they are somewhat what you think they are, normal.
Grounded. I think a lot of them are.
I hope so.
No, I do. I have
some favorites, and I would hate to know that they were just insane.
Like Anna Kendrick, I love her.
I don't like her at all.
You hate her?
No.
Why?
That's
so interesting.
So
you
annoying.
Think she's annoying? Is it because of somebody she was married to?
No, because
sometimes their partners will get you to hate them.
I think that Anna Kendrick thinks she's just positively adorable.
Well, she is now, but she wasn't.
No, I think she thinks that she's cute as pie.
Well, I just don't like that. I'm sure that's true.
I feel like she drinks her Kool-Aid just a little bit.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's probably true.
I don't know.
But they all do.
She's like, what? I'm precious. What do you mean? And I'm like, shut up. God, you're like 45. Act like it.
Is she?
I don't know how.
I'm like, wow.
You're a grown-ass woman. Stop acting like you're cute. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you're cute, but I mean, you don't need to go around saying, but I am cute.
But that's their shtick. Like, they all have one.
I know.
George Clooney has to go around like this debonair, like
George Clooney.
Right? I mean, but they all have something that they sell.
He's like, I'm just a humble billionaire. I don't understand why you people drink some more tequila.
I love Amal.
Me and Amal and our beautiful children that I look on them and I weep with joy. Shut up, dude. God. Can you imagine?
I know.
Stop
so
it.
True. Like, God, I'm so fucking badass. I can't even stand myself.
I'm hopeful that there are people that are down to earth, and usually they're.
Jamie, we better never get famous.
We will never be famous.
Eat these words because we'll be like, hello.
They'd be like, the Ugly Truth podcast is here at the Oscars. George Clooney, come on up. He's like, yeah, I heard what you said about me. I did weep with joy with my children. I'm like, well, happy fucking good for you.
And then as we walk away, we'll trip, fall on the ground, sprawl out in front of everybody.
Oh no.
That's what we get.
And this is why they're here.
Or we'll have a flippy hanging out of our nose as we're being interviewed by Entertainment Tonight.
The only person that I really...
you just have a little,
Oh my God. Can you imagine Sharon Stowe? Hello, hi ladies, hello. Oh my God, we're big fans. It's like, you have a booger in your nose.
I thought I didn't tell you because, girl to girl.
But, I just thought I'd let you know.
It's like, how long has it been there? Oh my God.
And you'd turn to me, Jamie, why didn't you tell me? And I'd be like, I didn't see it. I'm blind as a bat.
I'm not wearing my glasses here.
They don't let me wear glasses. Sorry. Can you imagine?
So true too.
God, we're like, well, then why do we have these cards? I don't know. There's like one word on them so I can actually see. Jesus Christ, that'd be us. You're like, the next Joan Rivers, everybody.
I know. The fact that we even think we could ever have a chance of being famous, that alone is...
you know what? We can be notorious.
Well, I know. I've always felt that I was born into the wrong life. I don't know why. I should have been rich. Famous? No. I don't need to be famous.
I don't need to be famous either.
But I definitely should have had money. Because it's not, how is it so ingrained in me?
Well, I will say.
And yet I'm poor as shit.
I will say you're right. And I've told this to Daryl many times. I'm like, I never ever. Well, I'll tell you this. Our mom always believed that quality was were better than quantity. It was worth the wait to get the better thing that will last you longer. And she's always had that mentality.
That's true.
So when she did get a few nickels drubbed together at one point in her life, and I was just telling Daryl about the golden era of our childhood. You know what I'm talking about, right?
You mean when mom was finally making some money?
And she was single.
And
we were having a great time.
She was actually living her best life for 2 years.
I told Daryl I thought it was almost 4.
It could have been, yeah.
Anyway, so happy birthday. And
I don't know how we get on these subjects.
I don't either. It's so weird.
Are you gonna have Daryl cut that?
I might. Happy Valentine's Day for those of you who observe.
Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday. Enjoy the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is currently going, so I would say I'm actually hoping that the Eagles win.
Oh.
I don't want Mahomes to win. I don't like the Chiefs. The Chiefs are horrible to me.
Why?
Well, they're one of our biggest rivals for starters.
For the Raiders?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Number one. And I don't think they're as good as they appear.
I don't think they are either.
They win by the skin of their teeth all the time.
If I had to make a prediction, I think the Eagles will win.
I hope they do.
But
that's what I want.
But I don't think so because I hate the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't hate the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's the thing. I love the competition of sports. Yeah. We've talked about this a million times, but basically when Patrick Mahomes came into the NFL, I didn't know who he was.
Right.
And there was all this hype and talk about him. All of the announcers and that do the shows, the games were like, this guy's amazing, blah, blah, blah. And I really didn't pay attention. And then when I kind of started paying attention, I was like, fuck, this guy for his age.
Yeah. He's a baby.
Yeah. And I've seen players develop. All players develop and get better. Yeah. Or they just fizzle out and they're not enough to stay as a shining star. And
he's definitely come into his own.
And he will continue to do so.
And
so
the record,
10 years from now, he could be.
Right. And the record reflects. I mean, they've proven their worth. His teammates also have a lot to do with it.
Oh,
First
for sure.
of all, Travis Kelce is my boyfriend.
Hey. And he's playing against his brother. Could it be more exciting?
But his brother will not play on at the field with him
because they're an opposite.
Yeah, he's defense and Travis is
right. But still,
yes.
Imagine sharing that moment.
That's amazing.
With your sibling.
And have you seen a picture of his mom? She has the half
wearing
and half
split jerseys.
It's so
I love
cute.
it.
I love it.
She's not the first mom that this has happened to.
No, she's not.
Yeah, Eli and the Mannings.
The Mannings, yes.
I can't think of his brother's name. Peyton.
Peyton, yes.
Yeah, she did. That mom did the same thing.
Yes,
because I think they both went to. Did they go to the Super Bowl or did they go to? But she was
No,
same.
but
she's like, how do you pick when your kids are both?
You get a split jersey.
Quarterbacks in the NFL. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well,
yay, Super Bowl. Woo! I'm so excited.
Yay, sports. So, all right. See you next time. Bye.